Hello? Again. June 23rd. Happy Friday. Jerry, how are you?
Great, Mike. How are you? I'm doing well and quiet around the house today with everybody out doing something else except the birds and me.
Mm-hmm.
You're at the beach?
At the beach. My wife's taking my son out for a walk, uh, so we can get feisty um, and yell without her yelling at me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
And
talked about yelling at each other to increase our ratings, just like the Top Traders Unplugged with Andrew and Tim. But
woo,
I don't really have that in me to yell at you.
no, I mean I just do so many things well. I think uh, I think all the right things. Um, I don't know what you could yell at me about, but
Well,
you could find something.
yell, no, make fun of you,
Yeah,
ridicule, yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I don't
That's
like yelling.
those are easy targets.
Some people bring yelling out of you. You know, they make you yell at them. And some people, like for my whole career at Chesapeake, um, I was very uptight, and I kind of still am to a degree. I'm 65 now, less uptight, but still I have that unfortunate temper that,
Mm.
and whenever I use it against my wife, I always end up losing, and having to apologize like crazy. And I'm like, why do I do this? But at Chesapeake, I surrounded myself, and kind of inadvertently, because there was some, you know, people who came and left, but I ended up with people who were just the nicest people ever. And the
Yep.
trading was so stressful for me. And these people, when I would get upset, and some of them still work for me. 35 years we've worked together.
Yeah.
Um, and they would just bring me down. They would not get into this big argument, and they would have nothing to say or just keep their cool. And it just brought me right down. I was responding. I thought I was being heavily offended and that they were not on purpose doing something right. And their response just made me a better person. I know you've heard about Cliff doing this, but I destroyed my fair share of telephones over the years, because it used to be a desktop phone. I would never destroy my iPhone. Oh, God, no.
I
You know,
I've destroyed one of my iPhones.
have you, God,
Yeah.
no, 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 I can't.
I
I
still
think,
have I threw a moleskin, one of those leather bound, not it's not leather, but one of those notebooks that are very popular. They're all the bookstores, things like that. I threw it straight down on it. It was, I forget, it must have been like 2017, 2018 when we were just like in the thick of, ugh, terrible. And yeah, I threw it down and it shattered into a million pieces, glass everywhere. And there's still the imprint of the phone in the moleskin cover. Yeah.
wow.
And I saved the phone. I saved the phone. It's in a bag of glass, just so I, can see it every once in a while and be like, all right, you know, chill. Yeah,
It
I'm
brings
reminded.
it brings up a good topic. That I think I've talked about before, but the all these emotions and whether it's fear, hope, greed, anger, disappointment that you're not making more money, you're really, really uptight that something is wrong. I remember walking into the gym once, and this was back in the 2000s, mid 2000, 2005 or whatever, and saying to myself, I have no idea how to trade. I have no idea how to trade. And so you just get to those points sometime where, of course, I had a long track record by then and I sort of knew how to trade. But I guess I was not have I was really having a bad period. I was really confused, and relative performance, I'm sure, was not that great because that really drives a lot of it. Your
Yeah,
Yeah, and but so often a lot of these emotions and wanting to change my systems. especially that. Um, oh yeah, they need to be better. They're not as good as they should be. They're not as good as they could be. I'm falling behind. And a lot of anxiety and stress. For me, it was a symptom of trading too large. Yeah, trading too
Yeah,
large. You get yourself in a bind where you have to do some discretionary move to reduce
sure.
risk and take positions off. And yeah, and I would always have the worst luck of increasing leverage, wrong time. Decrease leverage at the lows. We would start making more money. So yeah, it's really trading too. I remember Rich saying two big mistakes in trading that you're going to make: uh, trading too large and not following your system. But honestly, they're kind of combined. You can't follow it. Your brain is like,
No.
don't follow that system. Don't keep doing those trades. You're getting crushed. And you're like, well, I was told to do the trades. But you're also told to stay alive, stay in the game, and know
Yeah.
when to, yeah, yeah.
You would have to have, I think in order to follow that really well, you'd say, if you're worth $1 million, you have $1,000 in it, and it's just balls to the wall, a crazy turtle-like system where it's very volatile. But it's not a lot of, it's not a big percentage of your money. Uh, and if it wasn't your business on the line as well, where like, well, I can't lose all of this because my investors are going to leave if I lose too much. Like I got a lot at stake here. I got a lot of my money in it, and a lot of uh, my income is based on this as well. Well, all right, yeah, we have to get it down to a leverage that I can, I can sleep at night and still make some good money. But yeah, it's definitely something people learn. It's seemingly like in I remember reading all the Market Wizards books, and all those guys blew up a couple times. Not maybe not all of them, but a lot of them learned very, very uh, serious lessons early on with a very little bit amount of money. They lost their whole $1,000. They lost 10,000 or whatever it was. Not nothing, but definitely not. It's better learning that now, learning that then than later in life when you have more at stake. But uh, yeah, it just pays to learn yourself early as you can. There's no, I think there's any downside to learning about yourself. And hey, maybe you're not a balls to the wall trader. No big deal. You know, um,
That's right. Maybe you're not Mulvaney, and he
yeah,
sleeps well at night, and he sees, look, I'm going to do this. I can justify the 2 and 20. I'm in a niche. I don't have to raise as much money. 200 million to him is a billion to somebody else.
right.
And he just is fine with it. Yeah. And so you have to recognize that about yourself. I think I've never enjoyed this line of reasoning. Obviously, there's got to be something I would agree with as it relates to what we hear from people sometimes, which is, oh, it's fine if you do it your way, because there's no right way. Everybody can just live and love, and trend following can work. You want to do trend following this way? It's good for you. No, no. There's a right way. You should try to do it the right way. Fight against your bad instincts. Hey, ultimately, if you don't fight against your bad instincts, you're never going to trend follow. Um,
Right.
and
You'll never get there because
no. And so you want to
yeah,
get there and then say, oh, now that I'm here, I'm going to do all kinds of things.
yeah,
Look, you can only be as good as you can be, but you don't want to come in with this attitude that I don't need to be any better. I hear what people say. I uncover some of my erroneous thinking, but people are always telling me the best system is the one you can do. So if you can't do it, then it's not good for you. Then don't be a trader.
yeah,
Don't be a trader. Um, so do something else. But intellectually, that's what's fun about trading. Pursue excellence, pursue getting better, make yourself desire pain and suffering, because that's a lot of the fruit from the best systems. They're not easy to do. Understand that you're not there yet. You got to get there. You may never get there. Don't lie to yourself and say, it doesn't matter because I just need to do what makes me feel good. No, you need to do the opposite of that. And the more
Yeah.
you can implement ideas to make yourself feel worse, the better you are. So don't vol manage. It's not right. Don't, oh, I've got to do it. Okay, then you're going to do it. Just don't go around telling people that it doesn't matter. Everything matters. As far as I know, vol management may be better than what I do, but it matters. And we're not all created equal, and not every system is created equal. That's what I meant. However, there is one big exception, and that is choose your leverage, choose your risk, then
Yep.
implement the best system uh, possible, and have this as a goal in your life to improve and go towards perfection or something more perfect than what you're doing now. But stop with this thing that it's all based on your personality, and you have this free pass to have a shit system because it's something that I will do, and I will not do it if it doesn't have these bad qualities. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Uh,
trading size, trading leverage, yes, I'm down with that. Trade small.
I'm having. I know we talked about it before the we started recording, but I'm having a hard time not bringing up the OceanGate thing. Oh man, it's so I can't. I'm trying to think of something
No, no,
else to
no.
say.
Okay, okay.
It's
Bring it
just
up. Bring it up. But I did say, okay, I am Mr. Trend Following. I am Mr. Classic Trend Following. Okay?
yeah,
Me.
yeah,
I am. I don't want to be. But it's a club of like 5 people. So,
yeah.
woo, I'm number one. And I'm
I
self-proclaimed number one.
and one of
But
them's retiring. Drew's is retiring. We're
yeah,
losing a guy.
right. But you are number one at taking random life events, tragic or otherwise, and
Hmm?
somehow creating a trend following lesson out of it, whether it's
Yeah,
appropriate or
because
not. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
because it is, this is not some trading strategy. This is a way of thinking and behaving and uh, just operating life. This is like, you're not going to be a trend following trader and be a gambler who goes, you're not going to be a person who goes to Vegas or goes to the horse track, and bets and gambles without, I like what horse do you like? Like you're not going to be that person. You can't be. You
I don't
can't.
know about that. I think you can. Vegas, yes, I think you can. People have different sides of their brain. My head of research, one of the smartest guys I've ever met, um, the other Mike,
Yeah.
he likes Vegas. He's a super math guy.
But is he a
Yeah,
trend follower through and through?
system. He's a system guy. Yeah,
That,
he
that
is. He's a system. Yeah, nobody's
system,
on our level.
that's different. That system is different than trend follower,
But don't
especially
you
the
feel
classic
like
stuff.
honestly, this is a subject I've never brought up before, but I'm going to bring it up. Don't you feel like, I mean, by implication, I feel this way. I feel like, you know, I'm so thankful for trend following because I don't think of myself as a math person. I'm not really a programmer at all. I
Right.
spreadsheet. I'm not, I don't know. I'm a kind of a creator type person, artist to some degree, as it
Mm,
relates to designing a systematic approach. I'm bossing you around, I'm bossing people around, I'm
yeah.
making people trade all these markets, and I have this vision of what I think is this artistry of trend following. But I need smart people like you and around me to make it happen. But I'm
Yeah.
so thankful for trend following because you can get away with it. And then a lot of these quant people, they are the opposite because it doesn't really make them feel good about themselves to talk about trend following all the time. We got to do something much more complicated with these numbers and these back testing. So to some degree, I feel like I do love trend following because it's my niche, and I don't really see a lot of other niches that I would fit into or really had much success in. So is what makes me want to be a trend follower in my whole life and look at the world in this way. But other people who have more talents in other directions, they can they can balance more balls.
Sure. Uh, I like the singular focus. I know what I'm doing. I know who I am.
Yeah,
Uh, I can spend time. It's like a winemaker. Like I'm gonna spend all my life in this vineyard, and I'm going to figure out how to get this vineyard, get the best wine out of this vineyard, out of these vines, versus bouncing around. You know, you're all over the fucking place. You got to learn a whole new terroir from some new place. But yeah, I'm a winemaker, so I can figure it out. Yeah. But look, you need to. It's not all going to go well, and it's not all the the simple same factors that were down south that are now out east at this new region. You have different dynamics here. Yes, it's wine. Yeah, it's weather. Yeah, but it's different things. Slopes of the hills, age of the vine. All these wacky things that you may not think of. So uh, if you're bouncing around all the time, there's just no way, unless you're some genius, which you're not, um, then you can't figure all this stuff out in even like a normal amount of time for it to pay off in your life anyway. Like you got to learn a new thing all the time. It takes time. Um, sure, you might get lucky, and no matter what work you did, you might just get lucky, and it pays to be lucky versus smart type thing. But I'd rather put my odds on uh, go real deep on one thing and learn all I can about it and sit with it, let it marinate, and make it my whole ethos, in life. And I'll be bouncing around and changing careers and changing thought processes all the time. It's like, yeah, we're gonna be trend followers, like, trend followers versus like, oh, maybe single stocks, maybe stocks. Yeah. But it's still, you're still on the same vineyard. You're still there. You're not like, well, maybe index fund. No, it's a whole different thing now. You don't know what risks and characteristics come with with that new system, that new way of thinking, that new business. Um, you're gonna be all over the map, and you're gonna need to get lucky, I think. Um, I don't. I'm not confident in that approach. I like our I like our approach. I don't mind uh, trying new things, but within a uh, within our philosophy. Yeah, yeah. Because I
you
think
know
the
my
philosophies just cannot be beat. It just
no, no,
Nothing's gonna
it's a
beat it.
great philosophy.
Nothing's
You
gonna beat
know,
it.
my wife likes to brag on me. She likes to brag on me like, "You're the best. You're the greatest. You're fantastic. Tell them that you have a fund. Tell them that you made all this money last year, for return or whatever."
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not in that category. I'm not a macro hedge fund with billions of dollars. And I tweeted this thing the other day that my daughter sent me,
Hmm.
and it was I don't know if you saw this. It was pretty funny. It was overheard in New York City. Um, this guy telling his 2-year-old daughter, "Daddy's job is at a hedge fund. Can you say hedge fund?"
Oh God.
And below it, I did a screenshot of that, and below it I said, "Daddy's job is a CTA. Can you say CTA?" And then my next sentence was, "Not the same thing."
No.
So, we get ease, comfort, we get a great life, and definitely our Sharp ratio of lifetime work and wealth, and then downside, the Sharp ratio of life as a trend follower, it is super high. I mean, it's
Yeah.
super high. Now,
Very high.
in many different ways. Uh, great lifestyle, work-life balance, work as much as you want, don't work as much, safety, making money, fun. Yeah. Um, but, you know, it's just not the same. You know, we have that, but we're not stock traders. We're not quants in the traditional terms. We're not using all this crazy stuff we learned in business school. We both majored in accounting, so
Yeah.
I didn't learn much of that finance crap, anyways. But we do have this really good satisfaction, maybe just when we put our head on the pillow or when we're sitting at our desk alone, watching all these other people lose so much money. Try not
Yeah, where
to.
all you needed to do was to just
Yes,
get out. Like you just needed to get out.
yes, yes.
Like the fucking OceanGate. All you needed to do was just do some simple testing for Christ's sakes. Like you just wanted to fast track this thing and get going. Like you're a Silicon Valley firm and like, yeah, like it pays to go slow, you know. And that was something James Cameron said. It took him years to design one of his subs in the computer before they even started to even think about building it, just slow, slow. And that is a guy, at least in the uh, interview I saw him give yesterday about the OceanGate uh, stuff, that you just watch him talk and you're like, this guy's fucking prepared, man. Like he is clear as day in his head. He does not say, "Oh, he is not." Well, he knows exactly what he's saying. He just knows what he's doing. And diving's one thing. He's making movies. He's doing everything. So, uh, yeah, I I love when I go to bed at night because I know I'm gonna win. I know we have the winning formula. This is how you win in a lot of different areas in life. If I was gonna, if someone said you got to coach and you got to create, you got to have a winning record next year, otherwise you're going to the gas chamber. It's like I tell you what kind of approach I'm going to be using. Um, I'm not going to be sitting my best players and playing my worst players longer than they have to, type thing. I'm going to be doing trend following stuff with that team, with that roster, and going with numbers, not with stories and feelings. And sure, maybe 1 year, it's random anyway. But uh, that is the way I would use that as my framework, as my learning, as my curve. I feel like that would help right off the bat, years and years and years of learning curve that you need to get up to speed in order to figure out what to do. Or the simple thing like Belichick is just play your better players. Like protect your biggest asset. Yeah, smart. Uh, simple stuff like basic ABCs that work over time. Um, and still, people prefer the other way. They prefer the hype, the stories. Let's talk about the dinner and talk about this idea. Like you know let's bullshit about this. You know, this new macro environment we're going into. Yeah, yeah, this is what's going to be, right? Right. You see this, how this is going to happen, where these forces are coming together. Yeah, we're probably going to get a big move here. Right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah, we are. We are. Yeah. All right, let's get a big position. Let's start building a big position. People love that shit. And it just doesn't pay. It just does not pay. Like, and you could get lucky and it might pay off in a great way and they're going to write a story about you. But most of the time, no. Most of the time, it's like 99+%. Like, it's just not going to work out. Um, and I'm so happy I'm not going in with the crowd. I'm not like a drug user. I'm not, I'm not caving into my feelings in the short run. I'm like, no, it's a bad idea. And like, well, you're not going to have any friends. No one likes talking to you. Yeah, I don't care because I'm gonna fucking win anyway. I'm gonna win. You're all gonna lose because you're all doing silly things. This is your Super Bowl. This is the moment where you like to have fun. Talking about the thought of the winning, the thought of, yeah, this is gonna be great, but you have no foundation. I prefer to like not have those conversations. Like, yeah, I don't know what stocks are doing. I don't care. I don't
Oh,
really have an. I don't have an opinion.
I love
I,
not knowing anything about growth and value.
yeah,
And I have on a lot of stocks, but I wonder if I never know if they're growth or value
yeah, like
or what
exactly. It's
they
like the
are.
silliest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it going up or is it going down? I don't care what you call it. You know.
Right. Is it diversified? Do I have a diversified portfolio?
Yeah.
Uh, Not based upon growth or value, but based upon this company makes glass products. This company is involved in AI. This company is involved in 3D printing. This company sells perfume, coffee, whatever, right?
Right. Whatever.
Peanuts. And
Hmm.
so, but they're all growth. Oh, well, sorry about that. Or they're all value. Or you got way too much value versus growth. Oh, sorry about that. And growth is in an uptrend, value is in a downtrend. Well,
Mm.
I'll tell you one thing. All these stocks, they're in an uptrend.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. So forcing my conversation with myself and others to no, no, no. I'm in the trend following worldview. This is the worldview I'm in. I'm not in yours. I'm not listening to all that stuff. Not only do I not care, not only do I not do it, I don't know about it. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
from France, I'm from US. You're from Germany, I'm from Italy. We're not from the same country. We're not going to speak the same language. And when you start speaking your language to me, probably not going to understand it. So
No.
I'm not going to buy into all that crap. Yeah. So I love not knowing and forcing myself to have a whole different worldview. And you're right. This worldview does extend beyond the submarine. Did you get everything out about the submarine that you wanted to? Or the
No,
they
but
don't call it a
I'll leave it
submarine, submersible. Yeah.
submersible. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. It's just I just know that there's no way you, David Drews, Bill Dunn, Ed Secoda, Richard Dennis would ever get on that thing. And why? I think like, why is that? Why wouldn't they get on it? Because it wouldn't pass the test for them to say, yeah, all right, risk the risks. We've tested them thoroughly. We've hold on, I'm not going to get in trouble talking too loud. Um, the work has been done and we're satisfied with it. There's no way. There's no way you would have been satisfied with it. There's no way I would have been satisfied with it. It's like this is a non-trade for me. I'm not entering. I am out. I'm not even entertaining a position. Um, but there's some people who do, and they just for whatever reason they get talked into things like, and this is like how can these explorers who have this track record of amazing feats in exploration, uh, how could this happen to them? When it seemed like there was so many people who were like, yeah, I don't know about this idea. You guys should be careful because I'm telling you, we have some concerns about the integrity of the hull, integrity of this submersible at this depth. We don't think it can do it. We're good.
Ouch.
You know,
Ouch.
yeah. It's like didn't need to happen. It's like it's just kind of crazy that it did, and that was something else James Cameron said too, which is like the irony of the Titanic sank because of bad seamanship. The captain was warned, hey, you're driving in to an ice field on a moonless night. Yeah, you should be careful and divert. He's like, we're good. All right, you hit it. You hit a fucking iceberg. No shit, you did, because the odds were you're gonna hit it,
Mm.
and then when you hit it, you're dead. So same with these guys. You were warned about the integrity of this machine, and you said we're gonna do it anyway. Well,
Human error.
you're dust now. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff that's just like head scratching. I can't believe adults still do this stuff. But whatever feelings they have, whatever pressure, uh, level of excitement they had about doing it, who knows? I don't know. It's hard to know. I don't know these
One of
people, but
yeah, one of the things that I know, you and I agree on, and we are accused of not being as sophisticated as other strategies that have a lot more hands-on, what they would consider to be risk management. But to me, it's overlay. It's not. I feel like that, and I don't like it, and it has some negative. And I think ultimately, it's so much emphasis on call that they call risk management that, like a lot of times in life, it's the opposite. The name of something these days could equally as mean the opposite of what the name is indicating it should mean. And
Mm,
so, with our strategy, and so there is a lot of daily risk reduction, let's say, because the market is doing this. We got to sell some of our positions. We got to get out of some. Volatility heats up, then quickly get out. And then maybe the next day we get out more or we add more. And so
yeah,
this is constant, and it's almost like you're walking on a razor blade because I feel like with our strategy, this risk management is built in. It's built in from the get go. So we're not
yeah,
stressed on it. We have no trade to do that is, you know, urgent per se. We're going to hold these trades for a year or so, hopefully. And
hmm
we have a trade level that's lowish. It's not yesterday's equity necessarily. We uh, we are taking small losses, and we have a tremendously diversified portfolio, longs and shorts. And so I think that's the key too, is, you do have to, in every endeavor of life, you do want to build in, well, what happens if we need some rescue and we have an emergency? Oh yeah, you definitely have that. That is definitely not your first line of defense. And when
right,
that becomes essentially your first line of defense, you're kind of screwed. And so what you want to do is come in every day with a lot of defense and reactions that
right.
before you even need them. And I know that's how our systems are built. We're doing so many things so conservatively, and not pushing the envelope. And then when all hell breaks loose, yeah, we lose a few percent.
Yeah,
Um, but we have built into the system no need. We're not going to have urgent trades to do, risk reduction, like other strategies, other trend following
yeah.
managers.
I think I'm gonna say it's the only reason, but I think one of the reasons for the motivation to use a vol targeting, a massaging of the position size throughout the life of the position is to not be to not to not have so much of a position at the top. Like, what are you so obsessed with having it at the top? Because of crashes. These people don't like crashes, and they don't like giving a lot of money back after they've held on to a big winner for so long. They're like, well, hey, by this amount of time, I should keep most of that position because I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used to having all this uh, unrealized profit. Um, so I can't give it back of all this time. After all this time in the position, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna just keep peeling some off, peeling some off. And the opposite way of, well, I'm kind of scared. I'm just gonna keep, tiptoeing in. It's like, well, you're gonna miss it, type of thing. So but I think one thing that they try to medicate, which is the risk of crashes and not giving a bunch of money back after the ultimate top, is that you get more of that. You get more crashes. Um, so the thing I think they're trying to keep away, they create more of because they all get the same idea. Then they're all selling around the same times and perpetuating the crash. Um, where we don't do that stuff. We have one, kind of one exit, one, spliced out here and there. We're not building positions, taking them off, building them up, taking them off, week to week, day to day, whatever. Um, just a lot more risk going on. It's a lot more pit stops in like a NASCAR race type thing where yeah, if you don't pit, your car is going to explode. Well, we don't need to pit. We could run this thing for fucking 500,000 miles. You know,
Yeah. So,
that's our way.
it's one way I like to look at it on the degree of difficulty.
Yep.
Not only is how the classic trend following is more profitable, but what about the degree of difficulty? I mean, maybe that's similar to risk, but okay, if someone tells you or me, um, here's my $1 million, please take care of that $1 million. Okay,
Hmm.
I want you to make some money, but dude, don't be giving me back 750 or 500. I want you to protect my 1 million. And then we would say, do you want better? Do you want better?
Yeah.
I'll protect, with this strategy, I'll protect your 1 million and all the profits, all the profitable trades in your account. Whenever we have a profitable trade, I buy something, I get out of it, that adds to your account, or some of them are going to subtract from your account. But not only the original capital, but all the additions uh, to that capital. Now, open trades, we're going to let that fluctuate. But your capital, I'm going to take really good care of that. That is doable. If you don't know how to do it, you can still understand how way more difficult the alternative is, which is the rest, 99.9% of managed futures.
Yeah.
What are they protecting? Equity highs,
Yeah.
all-time highs in your account.
Yeah.
I'm protecting that. And then you're like, damn, that is so much tougher and way better than what Jerry and Mike said. Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Because look at me. I'm not Jerry and Mike. You don't even know what I can do. All right. Here's the problem. No one's going to believe that it doesn't come with a lot of negatives, that there are some pros and cons to this approach. And if you're going to protect all time highs, you're going to have some trade offs. You're not
Sure.
going to make as much money.
Mm.
You can't. You can't
No.
make as much money. Jerry has set the bar so low that, of course, he sucks compared to what you're offering. But I can see that if you're willing to only do what Jerry is offering, protect your capital and all the closed trades that go into that capital after your initial capital, damn right you better make some money. But you guys, on the other hand, are promising me you're managing my money from the viewpoint of all time highs, all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what we keep saying to them. You don't like that.
No.
You accept normal, accept what makes sense because we'll make a lot more money together. And part of making money is allowing those open trades to fluctuate. And you're asking me to give you more money plus uh, be very concerned about all-time highs? My God, man, come on, get with the
Yeah.
real
The
world.
markets are going to have something to say about that at some
Of
point.
course they are.
Yeah.
They're going
Come
to
on.
have a lot to say. They got a lot to
Yeah.
say.
It's
Yeah.
just so
So
that's like really pie in the sky idea. If you could do it for a time, like just pack your bags and just call it a career and get out at the get out at the top. Because there's no way you're gonna be able to keep that up. Markets are gonna have a different idea uh, at some point and really humble you. Um, I admire the effort. It's the same with the OceanGate. The people, a lot of them admire the effort. I appreciated your new design, your new way, new tech using carbon fiber, not using, steel and whatever the hell else they use, aluminum. They went this new way, but the pressure got too hot and it fucking exploded. So
yeah,
that that right there, this is why it's so like it's it's the same stuff to me. It's It's the same pattern. It's the same cosmic forces at work here. Whether it's in the markets, whether it's underwater, whether some other thing. Um, I just see the same behaviors, the same patterns, the same feelings driving things, driving people's behaviors, and you get similar results, just in different ways. People blow up funds, people blow up subs, and oh yeah, yeah, we should okay, maybe we should rethink that. Yeah, should rethink that.
Yeah, a
I'm
lot of these
I'm thinking
people,
about it because I'm so scared. You know.
I do get the impression too that a lot of uh, entrepreneurs and tech people, and these guys in California who make all this money, you do get the impression that, well, I may get both impressions. I'm way too conservative and way too risk conscious. I'll never
Yeah.
be hit it big like they do. Because even if you're a hedge fund, you've got to really get out
Right.
there with the leverage sometimes, or have a
Yeah.
strategy that's much better than trend following that just makes money very consistently, like a few of them do. Renaissance, um,
Yeah. Oh
but
yeah. Well, they're like unicorns.
but it's
Um,
almost I get this impression that um, they're not that good because a lot of them fail and lose a ton of money, all their money, substantial portions of their money. So it's almost like that cliche of if you took 1,000 people doing the wrong thing in the markets, uh, yeah, they're almost all of them are going to go broke, but two of them will
yeah.
become billionaires.
Yeah. Right.
So it wasn't like, well, they're so unique people that they can take these risks and they survive. No, they survive because of the law of large numbers. Somebody
Right.
was going to survive. Not everybody was going to lose money.
Right.
And so I feel like that's kind of a sad thing, honestly. I wish there were these superstar people who you could worship to some degree at their technology ability and at creating value for society. But I'm afraid it's just like no one is safe because people who've been in that business for many, many years, still some of them don't make it without tremendous losses towards the end,
Yeah.
minimally. Yeah.
Well, that's why you're doing your artistic work every day, and I'm, buying all the materials for you and
Yeah. Yeah.
washing your
I,
brushes and doing all the maintenance stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I used to, when I went to college, people were saying, college is about understanding things and being creative and not memorization. And I was like, oh, I don't think I've got much creativity. And I don't think I can solve problems. I think I can just memorize. And so I was very concerned by this. But then
Hmm.
over time, I realized, oh, that's pretty much all I'm good at. I'm really not good at details and memorizing. And I just have such a short attention span sometimes, unless I get deep into the philosophy of
Yeah.
creating something. Uh, so yeah, it's what we do. It's how we do it. Very fortunate. I know I am, and I feel like it's been a lot of fun learning from really smart people. And you've reached out and met a lot of smart traders and people, and you've become friends with them and stuff. So
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah. Just to not even go in with a notepad, just to be around, people, hear smart people talk, and see like, oh, they're presented with something. You can just watch them react to information. I mean, I do that to you, with you still. You're presented with information. You go, all right, or there's no response. Like, let me think about that first. Let me read about that first. Well, there are other people that are just like, well, yeah, 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 because they think they know everything right off the bat. Like, that's not as those people aren't going to win. You know, you need to be slower, methodical. Make sure you know what you're doing before you start talking and moving with a new piece of information you heard or you saw, uh, because you need to make sure you're staying safe. You're not going to get into a situation where you're talking and it's like dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You clearly haven't done the work because if you did, you would know what you just said is completely wrong. Oh, well, yeah, Aaron, my bad. Yeah, I was getting ahead of myself. Yeah, there's some people who just don't really get ahead of themselves, and I think that's a really hard thing to learn because it feels just so good to just have your own conclusions right away and just keep the conversation going. Just keep it going. Um, keep the energy up versus like, I'll get back to you on that. I don't know.
Well, I think to some degree, I like to delay coming up with an answer just for the hell of it. But
Hmm.
also, I was watching this. I'm going to be on a lot of, well, hopefully, I'm going to get some podcast and interviews soon with this new product we're coming out with.
Yes.
And so I was watching this video the other day. I can't say where, but probably guess. And it was this guy said, okay, here's how you make how you have influence on people when you're talking to them or you're being interviewed or whatever. He says, talk slow.
Hmm.
And and I'm like, I cannot talk slow. When I get on
It's
these podcasts or spaces, I just get so excited,
yeah,
and
it's
I'm
hard.
just, yeah. So I don't come across as like particularly enjoyable, or my credibility and believability is not maxed out. But I wanted to ask you though, when you're asking me these questions, and I've been around a lot longer than you, and you ask me like, how do you handle things? What do you think about certain things? And then I give you this great answer. Do you feel like that your response back is as good as like Oleg's response? Are you as worshipful and deferential to me as like maybe like following Oleg's example, or do you need to work on
Mm,
that? I couldn't keep a straight face.
no. I need to work on my Jerry worship. Yes.
That's
I'm not
right.
quite there yet. Uh, uh,
Back when
I
I
don't have a
was
Jerry tattoo yet.
back when I was dating my wife, said to her like kind of joking, maybe. I mean, kind of joking. I don't know. Probably not that much joking, but it was like you're very Jerry centered. You're very Jerry centered. Or you need to be more, maybe a tad more Jerry centered. Whatever the situation dictated.
Right.
And
Right.
but now, woo, that does not fly at all after
No.
12 years marriage. No,
It's
that's like
wife's world.
that's a joke. That's a joke. But
Oh,
anyways,
oh, it's not. It's still Jerry. It's still Jerry show.
no, no, it's never. No. She puts me in my place, keeps me in the straight and narrow. Great. We both have great partners to make sure we're all behaving in the right way.
Yeah, I think that's true though. I think there are times to not be self-centered and there are times to be, for sure. Like you got to keep focused somehow. Like, hey, we're in the middle of something. Like I need like another month, right? I'm in this mode. We're trying to get this project done. Like I'm gonna be a little selfish for a bit, because I need to be,
Mhm.
because I need to maintain this focus. Not saying I'm gonna be rude, like around the house and stuff, or I'm not gonna, buy you flowers. I'm not gonna be thinking about you at all. But I'm gonna be a little bit more Jerry. I'm gonna be a little more Mike, coming up, you know. And
Yeah.
it's just short lived. I'll make it up to you, type of thing. But yeah, there are
Oh,
times where you're just like, all
yeah.
right, I'm here to, you know, they need help and they need a hug,
Oh,
a talk,
for sure. For
whatever.
sure. Oh,
And
yeah.
that's all part of our skills, learning how to be uh, better people. I think, we could do a lot of different tricks in our bag. Uh, but yeah, I understand the allure of the self-centered approach. That's
That's right.
as an only
Yeah,
child, I could
well,
tell you, it's gotten used to that. Don't have to
yeah,
worry about
yeah,
anyone else, too much.
yeah. Yep. I don't know. 50 minutes. What do you think? Are we
50 seems pretty good. Yeah, I think
50
I'm gonna
seems
start
good.
ranting about OceanGate again, so uh, I should stop. Um, let it let
All right.
let my thoughts dissipate over the weekend about it. But it's just like such a bummer, you know. It was just such like,
Yeah.
just, God, what the hell you doing? You know, it's like, what the
We did
hell are you doing?
learn,
God,
we did learn that the military has a way of listening in on submarines. So I think this
yeah,
military thing heard the sound. The way I interpreted it too was is they heard it days before. Obviously, they figured out they couldn't find them. So as they're trying to find them, someone already knew that they had not survived. They did not make it out to you and me in the media.
yeah,
So hopefully it did to the searchers. And they said, they're gone, but more than likely
they
they're
knew,
gone. But
they
yeah,
knew,
we kind of knew.
they knew.
But yeah.
Yeah. The people in the community knew too, and they said they lost communication, they lost navigation. They're like that, it's over. Nothing can happen where you lose both without an implosion or something like that. They're just
Oh.
they're not stuck. There's no, the power didn't go out. That does no. Uh, they're just gone. It doesn't exist anymore. So
Hmm.
yeah, but you're not gonna again be okay. We're gonna go slow with this. We're gonna have respect. We're gonna make sure we know what we're talking about before we start telling people what we think happened to excite all these feelings. Like no, we're gonna wait and make sure we know exactly what happened first, and that's the proper thing to do. Even if you're a little late, I think. But um, yeah, just like hmm. I wouldn't have been on that fucking boat. I'll tell you that. There's no way.
I know my one of my sons keeps asking me about jumping out of an airplane.
No,
I'm like, no.
no, no, no. I mean, no. I just, I'm not a thrill seeker. I hate it. I do want to see,
Hmm.
I do want to see a great white shark though. And I did, go on safari. Uh, like, well, yeah, the animals don't really, they don't come up to the Jeep, but like, hey, if they're hungry, they want to get in that Jeep, they'll take me out of that Jeep. You know,
Hmm.
that's not what am I supposed to do against a 500-pound cat? Like nothing. Um, but uh, it's not even a cat. It'd be more likely it'd be like a, uh, a water buffalo or a hippo or something like that. They're more deadly than the cats by far. But um, yeah, I would like to see like a great white. That's just how big it is. Like this
Hmm.
20-foot, 2-ton thing. Like what the hell does that
Like in
even
a
look like?
shark, like underwater in a shark cage.
I thought about doing that, and because you could do that off the coast of, you could do it off Montauk, off
Hmm.
Long Island. I'm not going in the water. There's no way. I want to see
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
from the boat, you know,
Well,
preferably from
maybe
like where the captain's second leg, the second story is. I want to
maybe
see.
a
I want to be
video.
up high. I don't want to be near this thing.
Yeah,
Um, just to see one. That'd be wild.
yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Maybe out in the like in off the coast, uh, Long Island one time I'll do it, you know.
Yeah, right, right.
But
All right. Well, thanks for all this. It's been fun.
yeah, it's
Um,
wonderful. Good
don't
talk.
forget
Yep.
to eventually get all of our recordings out on YouTube for our YouTube
hmm
friends.
He yelled at me before the episode started to do that, so I'm sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
for not. I've been, you know,
That's
whatever. I
what
have
you
a kid
call
now.
yelling.
Hey, I'm busy.
That's what
But I'll
that's
do
what
it.
you
I'll do it.
are.
I got a
Yeah.
bunch of them to upload. So,
Okay. Thanks. Well,
hmm
good chatting. I love these podcasts. I know a lot of people do, and we'll do it. We'll see you next week, if not
next
before.
week,
And yeah, and have a good weekend.
you too.
Thank you.
Stay safe. No subs. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.